Hi, this is John Krasinski, Pittsburgh Sports Live, Pittsburgh Soccer Now. I'm here with Robbie Mertz, is making his return back to Pittsburgh. Robbie, it's great to have you on here. I know we're night before the match, and you guys are probably doing a lot of preparation, and I'm sure it's a little bit of a whirlwind to come back to Pittsburgh, but um, I'm sure a lot of thoughts going through your mind tonight.
Yeah, John, thanks for having me on. Definitely very happy to be back in the hometown. Getting to see some family and friends at the game tomorrow, and obviously some former teammates and at the club as well. So it's definitely an exciting weekend, and I'm really excited to see how things go tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where to start, but I guess, you bid a pretty emotional farewell. I know there was that Instagram message before you even officially signed with Atlanta, but maybe just revisit that briefly. Just kind of I'm sure there was a lot of thought went into the decision for you to take a new opportunity, a new challenge for you. So maybe just share with the Pittsburgh fans kind of what your mindset there was.
Yeah, I really appreciate that question actually, because it certainly was not an easy decision, deciding to leave my hometown and my hometown club, and after having 2 fruitful years, and really just having a lot of fun playing here. So it certainly wasn't an easy decision, but with I think kind of where I stand in my career, I'm in a position where I just want to make the most of the talent that I have, and take advantage of that when I can. And really, the way I looked at it was, with the Pittsburgh soccer community like continuing to grow. I think for a player like me who's grown up in the area, been Pittsburgh through and through, for me to step out and try to push the boundaries of what I can do in my career might actually be the best thing for soccer in this community, whether people realize that or not. With me leaving the Riverhounds, I think I felt like I had something to offer in Atlanta, and hopefully I'll get a chance with the first team at some point. But that was really kind of part of why I made the decision, to try to go pursue an MLS club, and to see if I could
Yeah, and so the first
make it in
I
that
don't know
league, because
Pittsburgh sports soccer fans, when they first were looking to see how you were doing in Atlanta, I think there was like, what's going on? We haven't seen Robbie on the field. We haven't seen him in the lineup. I guess you had a little bit of an injury there. Right.
yeah, I think it was actually the week before we went to open in Louisville. That was our opener for the season this year. I was injured in a preseason scrimmage. I had a partially torn LCL on my right leg, so I was out for a month and a half, and it was pretty frustrating because I didn't really miss many games throughout my first 2 years here in Pittsburgh. So
Yeah.
to have to sit on the sidelines, especially like early on in my Atlanta United 2 career, was frustrating. But it took some time to get going. I think when I got back as well from injury, and to really gel with my teammates and find my form. But the last month or two has gotten better, and I think I'm enjoying my football at the moment and enjoying playing with these guys. And so hopefully our season finishes on a strong note here down the stretch.
Yeah, third place in the Central, and the Central's no easy division. You've seen Louisville plenty of times in your first 2 years, and Indy and some of those other teams. But what's that first? What's the whatever 15 plus games now you've played? I mean, what's the experience been like in Atlanta and this club, and what what type of team it is? Just maybe tell us a little bit more about ATL2.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like, one of the great things about Atlanta United as a club is that, when you're playing for the second team, you're getting to experience a lot of the same things in terms of being a professional footballer as the guys on the first team. And we get access to a lot of the same resources, and we train at the same time as them every day. So I think being a part of that culture, being a part of that environment, that was a big factor in terms of why I wanted to go down there. to see if I could push the limits of what I can do as a soccer player. So that aspect of it's been great. And I think, it was an adjustment playing with guys who are younger, guys who are coming up in Atlanta's academy and haven't turned pro yet, but we have a lot of talent on the second team. And I think we're starting to put it together a little bit. A lot of the guys are maturing, who are younger and haven't had the same experience, and they're coming into their own a little bit. So I think the team is reaping the benefits of that right now.
Yeah, and this matchup is pretty interesting. Obviously you played for Bob Lilly. You know how much preparation he puts into every match. I'm sure you guys have been watching some film this week and whatnot. What do you see about this Riverhound? What do you see from the Riverhounds club this year? What has impressed you the most?
Yeah, for one thing, there was a lot of turnover from last year's team. So there's actually a lot of players on the roster from Pittsburgh this year that I'm not super familiar with. But obviously they have some of the same kind of core pieces. Danny Griffin's had a great year. Canardo's doing his thing. Anthony Velarde, Danny Rivera, those guys, Danny Vitiello in goal. So definitely familiar with all those players. And it's interesting just preparing to play against Bob's team. As I sat down to kind of think about it and see what I had to offer, I realized that Bob is such a unique coach in the way that he approaches each game so differently, that I was really not able to offer a whole lot in terms of what they were going to come out with tomorrow. So I'll tell him that when I see him, because I think that's a compliment to him more than anything. He gets his teams, he gets them ready to play in a variety of different systems, variety of different tactics. And that's what I think enables them to get better as the year goes on, because they're bringing something different to each team that they play. Yeah.
And kind of flipping to the other side now, what have you been doing mostly this year? I see your stats. You got 4 assists. You had that really great goal. I know you tweeted something about, I think it was the same night Canardo had that Sports Center top 10 goal.
Yeah.
But just what are we going to expect? Maybe, I mean, without giving away tactics, but just kind of what your role has been with this team.
Yeah, it was, to be honest, John, it was frustrating. I think for a little bit before I did get that goal, because I had become somewhat of a contributor on the score sheet in Pittsburgh the last couple of years, and to go a couple months without scoring a goal here was kind of weighing on me a little bit. So it was a huge relief. It was nice to score a goal in that fashion as well. But then I hopped on Twitter that night and saw Canardo was on Sports Center top 10 for his. So I just had a little laugh to myself, and I texted him because he was one-upping me that night. But yeah, it was definitely nice to get on the score sheet for Atlanta and kind of get that monkey off my back. I think I've taken sort of a role to help facilitate a lot of things for our team down here, and but also to add into the attack, and they're asking me to do a little bit of both. So yeah, I think as the season's gone on, I've found my stride a little bit more going forward, which has been encouraging for sure.
Well, Robbie, I don't want to take up too much more of your time tonight as you prepare, but just kind of I'm sure there's a lot of people looking forward to the match. I saw your sister. I interviewed her about a week or so ago, and she was like hoping to be able to make it, but she's got a pretty important game tomorrow too.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's like you said in the beginning, there's a lot of family and friends that are going to want to make it out tomorrow, but I'm sure you're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I think tomorrow hopefully will be a special day, and I think it's going to be a really good game too. I think there's 2 very good teams, honestly very different teams, I think, in a lot of ways, which could make for some really exciting football. So I think it should be one that everyone enjoys, and I'll certainly have a lot of support in the stands, as you might expect. So I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, I mean, we love it. I know as the soccer, journalist here, whenever the Riverhounds have interesting matchups, it's definitely, we love it. So looking forward to it. See you tomorrow night at Highmark Stadium. Can't wait, Robbie. Thanks so much for your time.
Of course, Sean. Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
All right. Have a